Some machines whisper their significance rather than shout it. They arrive from unexpected origins, shaped by minds that once pushed technology into thin air before bringing that same mindset down to the pavement. Every curve, every seam, every quiet engineering decision becomes a clue to a larger story about ambition, adaptation, and the pursuit of refinement in a world trying to redefine itself after massive change. Think about a vehicle born from a company known for crafting machines that once moved above the clouds, now applying that precision to something meant to travel at street level. The fascination lies in how such DNA translates into the feel of the open road. This is a journey into how crossover thinking can elevate an object far beyond its intended category. By the end, you may find that the most understated creations carry the boldest ideas. If you enjoy deep dives into machines shaped by unusual origins, like this video and subscribe, and tell me in the comments which topic should come next. In this segment, I will trace the origins and design intentions of the Bristol 40-21949, placing it firmly in the center of a story about transformation, ingenuity, and the search for identity in a shifting post-conflict era. The goal is to understand how a company renowned for aircraft attempted to map its engineering discipline onto a refined road machine while building a reputation in a niche luxury space. The Bristol 40-21949 sits at a fascinating intersection of expectations because it needed to prove that precision manufacturing from an aviation background could translate into smooth driving, confident performance, and a level of craftsmanship that did not rely on theatrics or sheer output. Instead, it aimed to convey excellence through balance and consistency. Its shape alone reveals its lineage. The long flowing fenders, tucked greenhouse, and carefully tapered tail were not random artistic flourishes but deliberate attempts to reduce drag and create smoother airflow along the body, which aligned with aerodynamic lessons the company had refined over years of shaping aircraft surfaces for stability and efficiency. Many vehicles of that period still carried pre-conflict patterns such as upright forms, flat panels, and decorative elements that added weight without contributing much to performance. The Bristol 40-21949 took a different direction by making aerodynamic fluidity central to its identity, which gave it a feel of motion even when parked. The front end, with its characteristic grille, framed a design language that tried to balance tradition with experimentation. The manufacturers wanted their customers to perceive the car as elegant yet modern, not flashy or ostentatious, but inherently sophisticated in a way that required a closer look. At the heart of its engineering was a powertrain designed with the same kind of meticulous attention the company used for aircraft subsystems. The Bristol 40-21949 delivered power smoothly, with an emphasis on reliability and predictable behavior, reflecting the philosophy that a refined machine should feel composed rather than aggressive. This approach set it apart from some rivals that pursued louder expressions of performance. Instead of aiming for brash acceleration, the Bristol 40-21949 optimized its components to maintain consistency under varying conditions, which made it appealing to owners who valued mechanical clarity and balanced driving experiences. Inside the cabin, the craftsmanship told its own story. Surfaces were arranged with a sense of purposeful order, materials felt carefully chosen for tactility rather than excitement, and the seating position supported a relaxed but confident posture, encouraging long journeys rather than short bursts of exhilaration. The instrument layout illustrated another connection to aviation heritage. Clarity, legibility, and functional arrangement took precedence over decorative styling, reinforcing the notion that the driver should feel in command without distraction. Because the Bristol 40-21949 was built in small numbers, owners often felt like stewards rather than mere consumers. They appreciated that each detail carried the weight of specific engineering decisions rather than mass-market compromise. The car also represented a transitional moment for the company itself. The manufacturer needed to demonstrate viability in a competitive field while maintaining its specialized ethos. And the Bristol 40-21949 became an early test of whether that blend could achieve lasting relevance. Meeting the expectations of discerning customers was not just about driving performance but also about delivering an experience that felt coherent from nose to tail, from ignition to engine note to the feeling of settled control at speed. Those who encountered the Bristol 40-21949 often remarked on its quiet confidence. It did not rely on aggressive styling cues, heavy chromed forms, or dramatic stance alterations. but instead expressed sophistication through proportion, restraint, and subtle sculpting. That design logic aligned with its engineering roots, where form followed function and aesthetic appeal emerged naturally from performance-oriented decisions. This made the car a symbol of understated refinement rather than bold provocation. While many contemporaries leaned heavily into novelty to capture attention, the Bristol 40-21949 charted a different path by trusting that a discerning audience would find value in precision, balance, and durability. This approach made it a machine that owners grew to appreciate more deeply over time, rather than one that impressed only at first glance. In fact, its strengths became more evident with extended use, where its stable handling, predictable responses, and composed ride quality built trust between driver and machine. The chassis geometry and suspension tuning reflected a thoughtful compromise between comfort and control. High-speed stability mattered, but so did road isolation, and the Bristol 40-21949 managed to bridge those needs in a way that felt aligned with the habits of long-distance touring. When examined closely, the car becomes a living example of how engineering philosophies evolve when companies shift focus from one domain to another. While the physical demands of flight differ from those of ground travel, the underlying principles of efficiency, structural integrity, and smooth operation translated surprisingly well. This translation created a sense of continuity within the brand as it transitioned into automotive manufacturing. Engineers accustomed to strict tolerances and performance margins applied the same standards to a completely different product category, producing results that reflected their collective identity. The Bristol 40-21949 therefore serves as more than an attractive vintage vehicle. It stands as a case study in how technical traditions adapt and expand, bringing forward values that shaped its driving feel and long-term ownership appeal. It also highlights how design and engineering can merge when a company treats each part of a car as an integrated system rather than a collection of isolated components. Everything from body shape to engine behavior to interior ergonomics was crafted with interdependence in mind. The deeper you explore the decisions behind its creation, the more you recognize that the Bristol 40-21949 embodies a mindset rather than just a set of specifications. It presents a worldview that prioritizes harmony, subtlety, and thoughtful execution. As a result, its significance grew beyond its modest production numbers. Enthusiasts and historians continue to study it because it offers lessons about how careful engineering choices create lasting resonance across generations. The Bristol 40-21949 remains a testament to how nuanced performance can feel when designers and engineers prioritize balance over spectacle, clarity over noise, and long-term integrity over fleeting excitement. Understanding these origins sets a strong foundation for exploring how the model evolved and why its legacy persists. In this segment, I continue the story of the Bristol 40-21949 by shifting from foundational identity to the deeper mechanical logic that defined its character. The aim is to understand how this model transformed aviation disciplined thinking into a cohesive driving experience that stood apart from its contemporaries. When discussing a machine like the Bristol 40-21949, it is essential to move past its elegant exterior and look at the layers of engineering discipline beneath the surface. These layers reveal an approach that treated every component as part of a unified ecosystem rather than a collection of parts. This was not common practice in the late 1940s, when many manufacturers still relied on pre-conflict tooling and incremental updates. In contrast, the Bristol 40-21949 applied an engineering mindset shaped by precise tolerances, rigorous testing habits, and the expectations of a company that previously shaped machines for high-altitude environments. That mindset led to a car that behaved with a level of composure many drivers had not yet experienced. Where some rivals produced vehicles that felt quick but inconsistent, the Bristol 40-21949 prioritized predictability, stability, and smooth power delivery. Its inline-six engine became the centerpiece of this philosophy. Derived from licensed engineering but significantly refined, it featured carefully machined components, well-balanced internals, and airflow strategies that supported strong mid-range torque and sustained reliability over long distances. The result was not a dramatic surge of acceleration but a measured and confident rise in speed that reassured the driver. It reflected an understanding that a grand touring machine should feel controlled rather than hectic. The Bristol 40-21949 also benefited from a chassis layout designed with structural coherence in mind. The frame exhibited a rigidity uncommon among many rivals, creating a stable platform for suspension tuning. This rigidity did not make the car harsh. Instead, it helped the suspension operate with precision because the structure did not twist under load, giving engineers the freedom to refine spring and damper behavior. The suspension system prioritized composure over theatricality. Engineers focused on isolating small bumps while maintaining body stability during cornering, resulting in a balanced feel that encouraged confident travel across varied road surfaces. On long journeys, the Bristol 40-21949 demonstrated its identity most clearly. Rather than relying on raw power to create engagement, it delivered a flowing, almost effortless sense of progress, with subtle responses that rewarded attentive driving. Its steering feedback illustrated this point. Tuned for clarity rather than quick reactions, it provided a steady sense of connection that translated information through the wheel without overwhelming the driver. Brake performance reflected similar priorities. Instead of abrupt bite, the system offered a progressive feel that made slowing the car smooth and controlled, suitable for extended touring. This alignment of components demonstrated how a cohesive philosophy could shape every aspect of the driving experience. Nothing felt accidental and nothing felt out of sync. The Bristol 40-21949 stood as an example of how engineering talent from another field could elevate expectations. Designers accustomed to aircraft systems understood the value of aerodynamic efficiency, vibration control, weight distribution, and structural integrity, and these ideas translated into a road machine with unusual sophistication for its time. For instance, the car's aerodynamic silhouette was not simply a design flourish. It reduced wind resistance, improved fuel efficiency, and helped maintain stability at speed. Even the placement of vents and openings reflected airflow studies rather than decorative impulses. Engineers sought to guide air cleanly around the body and into the engine bay with minimal turbulence. The interior also revealed traces of aviation influence. The gauge arrangement favored legibility and reduced glare, and the controls were positioned logically to minimize unnecessary hand movement. The Bristol 40-21949 treated the driver as an operator who deserved clarity and order. Everything needed to be accessible without distracting from the driving task. This reflected a belief that elegance emerges from functionality rather than ornamentation. Materials inside the cabin enhanced comfort without compromising purpose. Leather surfaces, polished trim elements, and wood accents were chosen for their durability as much as their appearance. Because production volume remained low, the craftsmanship exhibited a level of care unreachable for mass-produced rivals. Artisans worked with slower, more exacting methods that allowed for hand finishing and individualized attention. Owners often remarked that the Bristol 40-21949 felt like a machine built for long-term stewardship rather than quick consumption. It invited care, appreciation, and thoughtful operation. Under the hood, engineers approached heat management and lubrication with the same attention they once applied to aircraft engines. They understood that a well-managed thermal environment contributed to longevity and consistent performance. This meant strategic placement of components to encourage airflow, calculations that balanced lubricant flow with engine temperature, and design choices that promoted efficiency during sustained operation. The Bristol 40-21949 also offered a driving experience that balanced accessibility with complexity. New drivers could appreciate its smoothness, while experienced owners could detect the refinement beneath every input. This multi-layered personality contributed to its appeal among enthusiasts who valued engineering subtlety. The car revealed more of itself the longer it was driven. In this segment, I turn to the long-term meaning and cultural footprint of the Bristol 40-21949, examining how this quietly confident machine earned a place in automotive history by staying true to principles that favored precision, calm refinement, and long-distance capability. To understand its legacy, it helps to look at how the model influenced expectations for what a grand touring car should feel like and how it shaped the identity of its manufacturer for decades. The Bristol 40-21949 emerged during a period when many companies rushed to re-establish production, often relying on carryover designs or styling updates intended to capture quick attention. This model took a different route by presenting a thoughtful, well-integrated approach that rewarded patient observation. Its subtle shape, clean airflow, and cohesive proportions represented a different kind of confidence. Rather than seeking immediate impact, the Bristol 40-21949 expressed strength through restraint. inviting owners and observers to appreciate the details that revealed themselves gradually. Over time, this philosophy gained a dedicated following among enthusiasts who valued clarity, proportion, and mechanical balance. These qualities distinguished the model in an era when loud styling cues and abrupt revisions often overshadowed serious engineering. That long-term appeal resulted from a combination of design stability and engineering consistency. The Bristol 40-21949 encouraged drivers to enjoy trips measured not by speed but by smoothness, engagement, and a sense of composed progress along roads that challenged comfort and durability. As years passed, the car became a touchstone for those who believed that a touring machine should feel like a trusted companion. The interplay between steering, suspension, and engine response created a rhythm that grew more satisfying the longer the car was used. Stories from early owners often focused on the car's ability to maintain composure across varied terrain. While this monologue avoids direct quotations, the theme remains consistent across reports from individuals who appreciated balance and reliability. The Bristol 40-21949 demonstrated how thoughtful weight distribution and aerodynamic efficiency could create a driving experience that minimized fatigue. Its gentle responses and stable behavior allowed for extended journeys that felt controlled and rewarding. That experience influenced the expectations of many who later explored the manufacturer's other offerings. Once drivers recognized the subtleties of the 402, they expected follow-up models to offer similar restraint and engineering clarity. It effectively established a template that blended quiet strength with durable construction. This template became part of the brand's identity. In this sense, the Bristol 40-21949 serves not only as a significant model but also as an anchor for a design and engineering lineage that valued order, balance, and timeless aesthetics. The influence extended beyond driving feel. Collectors and historians increasingly recognize the model as a symbol of a transitional moment in automotive culture. When companies began to experiment with aerodynamics, structural rigidity, and efficiency rather than relying solely on size or ornamentation. The Bristol 40-21949 illustrated how these emerging ideas could be integrated into a coherent whole. Its shape guided air efficiently, its structure supported poised handling, and its engine offered a measured yet confident character suited to touring. This coherence allowed the car to age gracefully. Even decades later, its form remained attractive not because it shocked or impressed but because the design logic continued to make sense. The interior also aged with dignity. The cabin's thoughtful layout and durable materials communicated a sense of purpose that did not depend on trends or novelty. Enthusiasts who encountered well-preserved examples of the Bristol 40-21949 often remarked on the way the car felt immediately familiar. Its ergonomics, sightlines, and seating position aligned naturally with long-distance driving rhythms. This intuitive quality helped keep the model relevant among collectors who valued both historical importance and usability. Many classic vehicles possess charm but demand compromise, while the Bristol 40-21949 maintained a level of day-to-day practicality that encouraged continued operation. Maintenance considerations further strengthened the model's reputation. While precision-designed, the car retained an accessible mechanical layout that allowed skilled technicians to service it without unnecessary complication. This combination of accessibility and engineering integrity contributed to the survival of many examples. The car never became an artifact that required extreme caution or limited operation, which enhanced its appeal among drivers who sought to experience history through motion rather than static display. The model's significance also emerged in the way it influenced perceptions of cross-industry innovation. By applying principles developed in aircraft engineering to a road vehicle, the Bristol 40-21949 demonstrated that expertise is transferable when guided by disciplined thinking. Concepts such as drag reduction, weight management, structural reinforcement, and vibration control migrated from one field to another, enriching the automotive world by showing what careful execution could achieve. That cross-pollination encouraged other manufacturers to consider the benefits of adopting practices from different industries. The Bristol 40-21949 became an early example of how creative engineering can emerge from collaboration, adaptation, and the willingness to reinterpret familiar problems. Culturally, the car gained prestige among drivers who appreciated understatement. In a market often drawn to bright colors, bold lines, and attention-grabbing shapes, the Bristol 40-21949 projected a quieter form of luxury. owners valued how the car communicated taste through proportion and subtle detail rather than decoration. Its appeal grew from an appreciation of methodical craftsmanship and balanced performance. This created a unique owner community defined by shared preferences for refined aesthetics and thoughtful engineering. Over time, the reputation of the car became closely associated with individuals who valued contemplation and clarity. That reputation strengthened the model's place in historical narratives. When enthusiasts discuss mid-century touring cars that shaped expectations for long-distance comfort and engineering integrity, the Bristol 40-21949 frequently appears as a reference point. Another aspect of its legacy comes from its rarity. Produced in small numbers, the model naturally attracted interest from collectors seeking distinctive vehicles with meaningful lineage. Low production alone does not guarantee lasting admiration. What matters is whether a car embodies ideas or execution that remain relevant beyond its era. And the Bristol 40-21949 achieved this by representing a philosophy rather than a fleeting trend. Because of this, the car maintains value not only in financial terms but also in conceptual importance. It serves as a preserved example of integrated thinking that future designers and engineers can study. The Bristol 40-21949 brings its story to a thoughtful conclusion by demonstrating how a machine can influence history not through spectacle but through balance, reasoned design, and the patient refinement of ideas that originated in another field. As I summarize its meaning, the goal is to connect its origins, engineering logic, and long-term cultural weight into a cohesive understanding of why this model still resonates with enthusiasts and historians. The Bristol 40-21949 stands as a reminder that innovation often emerges from unexpected sources. By applying aviation-disciplined thinking to a road vehicle, engineers created a touring machine that prioritized stability, clarity, and mechanical harmony. This identity allowed the car to age gracefully. Its shape, proportions, and driving feel still communicate purpose decades after its introduction. Many automotive icons earn their status through dramatic styling or extreme performance, but the Bristol 40-21949 achieved distinction by offering an experience that felt composed and quietly confident. That quality continues to attract collectors who appreciate subtle engineering. Its influence stretches beyond its production run. The model established principles that guided future designs from the manufacturer, proving that consistency and restraint can create a lasting signature. The Bristol 40-21949 also demonstrated how low-volume craftsmanship can produce vehicles with exceptional longevity. Careful construction, logical component layout, and disciplined engineering helped preserve many examples long enough for future generations to experience firsthand. For modern observers, the model offers insight into how philosophy shapes machinery. Every decision from body curvature to gauge arrangement reflects priorities that valued ease of use and balanced performance. Because it never sought mass appeal, the Bristol 40-21949 remained free to pursue a more thoughtful interpretation of grand touring. This freedom allowed it to create an identity that still feels relevant. Today, the car represents a form of mechanical artistry rooted in logic rather than decoration. Studying it offers a chance to appreciate how engineering tradition can migrate from one field to another without losing integrity. The Bristol 40-21949 will continue to inspire enthusiasts who value depth, coherence, and refined execution. For them, the car is more than a historical object. It is a testament to how clarity of purpose can create machines with enduring character.